There is a country where democracy was born, where philosophy shaped Western thought, where marble temples stand after 2,500 years, and where the Mediterranean sun illuminates landscapes that inspired myths still told today. This is Greece, a nation of 10 million people scattered across a mainland and over 200 inhabited islands, where ancient ruins appear around every corner, and where the past is not distant history, but living presence shaping daily life. The civilization that flourished here created literature, art, mathematics, and political systems that influenced the modern world. With the Parthenon, the Olympic Games, and Socratic dialogue being Greek contributions to human achievement. Subscribe to and discover Greece, where ancient stones tell eternal stories. Athens, the cradle of civilization. The capital contains 3.8 million people living beneath the Acropolis. The rocky hill topped by the Parthenon Temple, built in the 5th century BCE when Athens was the most powerful city-state in the Greek world. The Parthenon was constructed under Pericles as a temple to Athena, with the structure demonstrating architectural perfection that has inspired builders for millennia. The ancient agora was the marketplace and political center where Socrates taught and where democracy developed, allowing citizens to vote on laws. The National Archaeological Museum contains treasures including the Mask of Agamemnon, bronze statues recovered from shipwrecks, and pottery documenting daily life. The city is chaotic with a traffic congestion and graffiti visible alongside the monuments, creating contrast between glorious past and difficult present. Santorini, the volcanic paradise. The island in the Cyclades is what remains of a volcanic caldera created when the volcano exploded around 1600 BCE in an eruption so massive it may have destroyed the Minoan civilization on Crete and inspired Atlantis legends. The cliffs rise 300 meters from the sea with whitewashed buildings and blue-domed churches cascading down, creating postcard views that define Greek island aesthetics. The villages of Oia and Fira cling to the caldera rim with hotels and restaurants, catering to tourists seeking sunset views. The volcanic beaches have black, red, and white sand created by different lava types. The wine is distinctive with vines growing in basket shapes to protect from wind. The island is crowded during summer with cruise ships disgorging thousands daily, creating congestion. Mykonos, the party island. The island in the Cyclades contains 10,000 permanent residents. Though the population swells to over 100,000 during summer, when tourists arrive seeking beaches, nightlife, and cosmopolitan atmosphere. The main town contains white cubic houses with colorful doors creating maze-like streets, where windmills line the ridge, being the island's iconic landmark. The beaches range from family-friendly to party beaches, where clubs operate from afternoon until dawn with DJs and dancing. The island is expensive with premium prices reflecting the exclusive reputation. Little Venice is the waterfront neighborhood where houses are built at the water's edge, with waves crashing beneath balconies. The island represents Greek tourism at its most developed, being glamorous and beautiful, though sometimes feeling more international resort than authentically Greek island. Crete, the island of myths. The largest Greek island contains 640,000 residents spread across a mountainous island stretching 260 kilometers, with the Samaria Gorge being Europe's longest gorge, cutting 16 kilometers through mountains. The Minoan civilization flourished here from 2700 to 1450 BCE, building palace complexes at Knossos, demonstrating sophisticated Bronze Age culture with indoor plumbing and colorful frescoes. The Palace of Knossos was excavated beginning in 1900 by Arthur Evans, whose controversial reconstructions in concrete created a fantasy Minoan palace that scholars debate. The island contains beautiful beaches, mountain villages, and the Lassithi Plateau, where windmills once numbered in the thousands. The island was the site of fierce resistance during World War II when German paratroopers invaded and Cretans fought back, creating partisan movements. Delphi, the center of the world. The archaeological site on the slopes of Mount Parnassus was ancient Greece's most important oracle, where the Pythia priestess delivered prophecies that kings consulted before making major decisions. The sanctuary was dedicated to Apollo, with the Temple of Apollo being the main structure where the oracle sat on a tripod above a chasm, supposedly emitting prophetic vapors. The site contains the ancient theater seating 5,000 spectators, where competitions occurred during the Pythian Games, held every 4 years, and the stadium higher on the mountain where athletic competitions took place. The Tholos of Delphi is a circular building with Doric columns whose purpose remains mysterious. The site is UNESCO listed with the museum containing treasures, including the Charioteer of Delphi bronze statue demonstrating classical Greek sculptural achievement. Meteora, the monasteries in the sky. The rock formations in central Greece rise up to 600 meters, with monasteries built on the summits beginning in the 14th century, when monks sought isolation by constructing religious communities accessible only by rope ladders and baskets. 6 monasteries remain active from the 24 that once existed, now accessible by stairs carved into the rock. The Great Meteoron is the largest monastery containing frescoes, religious artifacts, and a museum documenting monastic life, with the Catholicon, or main church, dating to the 14th century. The landscape is dramatic, with stone pillars creating scenery that appears designed rather than naturally formed, with erosion of a river delta creating the distinctive shapes. The site is UNESCO listed with recognition for the monasteries and the natural landscape, creating one of Greece's most unique destinations. Rhodes, the island of the sun god. The island in the Dodecanese contains approximately 125,000 residents living where the Colossus of Rhodes once stood. Being one of the 7 wonders before collapsing in an earthquake in 226 BCE. The medieval Old Town is surrounded by 4-kilometer walls built by the Knights of St. John in the 14th century, creating the largest inhabited medieval town in Europe that is UNESCO listed. The Palace of the Grand Master was the Knights' headquarters, damaged in 1856 and reconstructed by Italians in the 1930s. All of the island contains ancient cities including Lindos, where the Acropolis sits on a cliff with the temple to Athena commanding dramatic views. The island was occupied by Italians from 1912 to 1943, who left Art Deco buildings creating architectural heritage from the occupation period. Corfu, the Emerald Island. The island in the Ionian Sea contains 100,000 residents living on the greenest Greek island, where cypress trees and olive groves create landscapes distinct from the arid Cyclades. The Old Town is UNESCO listed with Venetian architecture, reflecting 4 centuries when the Republic of Venice controlled Corfu, being the only part of Greece that never fell to Ottomans. The Liston is an arcaded street modeled on Paris's Rue de Rivoli, with cafes where locals practice the volta or evening promenade. The Achilleon Palace was built for Empress Elizabeth of Austria in 1890, with neoclassical architecture and gardens containing statues celebrating Achilles. The island was occupied by British from 1815 to 1864, who introduced cricket, which is still played in Corfu, being the only place in Greece where the sport has a following. Subscribe for more journeys through lands where history shapes the present and where ancient stones tell stories that remain relevant today.